This bull market will increase the value of Nvidia by a minimum of tenfold. Just after the PT, Nvidia's shares experienced a decline in anticipation of the company's Q2 earnings report. Dan Ives of Wedbush, my subsequent guest, regards it as the most significant earnings report of the year for the stock market. He will be joining us at Post 9. It is unlikely that a significant number of individuals would concur. It is undoubtedly significant. The most critical aspect you should be monitoring is the true nature of the matter, specifically the demand that Jensen, the godfather of AI, discusses. This is due to the fact that Nvidia's perspective regarding AI chips is unparalleled. Therefore, I believe that the issue is not solely related to the October quarter. Rather, it pertains to the subsequent 6-month call. However, we have discussed every aspect of the Asia supply chain that we have observed. I believe that the performance tonight will be a drop to mech. What are your thoughts on the potential Blackwell delays and the need for greater clarity regarding their nature? Because we are already aware that demand is high when you state you will hear from him on demand, correct? We are aware that the hyperscalers have communicated with us. We are aware that revenues from capital expenditures have increased by 40 to 50% over the course of a year. What about Blackwell? I do not consider that to be the case, even if we are discussing a period of 2 or 3 months or anything that is outside of the actual October quarter. If we examine it from a capex perspective and consider Blackwell, could you provide a guideline of 1 to 2 billion with a delay in terms of the trajectory? You're going to begin searching. Ultimately, it would be $5, $6 in earnings power for Nvidia when you consider the next year. I believe that the most critical aspect is that you possess the components of the Rubik's Cube. The CX players that we have observed from big tech are the ones you have. You have names such as Paler and ServiceNow, among others. However, as the godfather of AI addresses the audience tonight, this is the concluding element that demonstrates that the AI party we have discussed is open from 9 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock a.m. Kate Rooney has some news to share with us regarding OpenAI, which is related to AI. Kate, greetings, Scott. I have been informed by a source that OpenAI is in the process of raising additional funding. This initiative will be spearheaded by Thrive Capital. It approximates the valuation of the AI startup at approximately $100 billion. OpenAI and Thrive declined to provide a response, as indicated by this source. However, a source with knowledge of the situation has informed me that Thrive intends to contribute $1 billion. The Wall Street Journal was the first to report this, and it also provides additional information. Microsoft is also anticipated to contribute additional funding, and this would be the largest round since the partnership between OpenAI and Microsoft in January 2023. Around $1 billion was invested by Microsoft. Yes, there has been a spending arms race in Silicon Valley. The cost of operating one of these extensive language models is substantial. They are genuinely accumulating a war chest in this location, so $100 billion is an enormous sum. Scott, it places it in close proximity to companies such as Stripe and SpaceX, which are among the most highly valued in Silicon Valley. However, the most recent development in the AI arms race, I will return to you. Yes, Kate Rooney, I am grateful for your assistance, a report that is delivered promptly. It is evident that Dana is sitting next to me. Would you like to provide any commentary on this matter? We have $1 trillion of capex for AI that is coming in the future. You examine the position of OpenAI. I believe that this is only the beginning, as it is the golden child of AI. We discuss valuations that are on the rise. It is a scarcity value similar to that of Nvidia. The private side of OpenAI, Nadella, and Redmond is what you observe, and you essentially emerge victorious in this competition. I am referring to the potential for a more comprehensive view of Medicap technology as a result of the results that Nvidia may provide. I anticipate a bullish outcome. I am of the opinion that this marks the beginning of a tech rally that will continue into the end of the year, with Big Cap as the leader. As we have previously discussed in relation to the iPhone, the AI revolution is imminent in Cupertino. This is the beginning. We are of the opinion that the issue is not solely about the NASDAQ 20,000. Big Cap technology is the subject. This is merely the commencement of the subsequent phase of the bull market, and I believe it will commence tonight. I understand that you are optimistic. It appears that you anticipate the commencement of an AI era from Mark Benioff, and the company as reflected in your notes on. What has been the issue, and what is the reason for your current optimism? Certainly, it commences with our multiplier. We believe that the cost of an Nvidia chip is multiplied by $8 to $10 in the rest of the technology sector for every dollar spent. You examine Salesforce, and Benioff has assumed their position. They have yet to reap the rewards. However, we anticipate that they will do so within the next 6, 9, or 12 months. This will provide them with a substantial tailwind from a cross-out perspective. I anticipate a slight rebound in the quarter when considering their install base. However, I believe that this is a brand that is at the inception of a growth renaissance. This is the entirety of the information we have obtained from our checks regarding the install base. It is identical to the information we have observed in McDermott and ServiceNow, as well as Oracle. Benioff and Salesforce will be the next to be reached, despite the current challenges. I am currently reviewing the work of an additional analyst at Oppenheimer who reports that his field checks were slightly negative regarding Salesforce's business activity and operating environment. We don't anticipate estimates to change materially after the earnings update. Simply express a fundamental disagreement with one perspective in contrast to your own. Yes, Salesforce has been the subject of significant skepticism dating back to Elliott's activism. There were numerous individuals who believed that the stock would be significantly lower than it is currently. I anticipate that this quarter will not generate any significant fireworks. However, Salesforce's narrative is not contingent upon this quarter. The focus is on the direction of this in the next 6 to 9 months, and I am of the opinion that there is a stock that has the potential to increase by 30 to 40%. I am aware, however. Why is it not receiving any recognition as the market anticipates 6 months in advance? Historically, the AI deliverables that we anticipate will occur are credited to all of these other companies. Why is this one not included? It is an excellent inquiry. Like the street, missed Paler. Oracle appears to have been overlooked by numerous individuals. Salesforce is likely to be missed by them. Nvidia has reported its second quarter earnings. The bottom line was exceeded by 68 cents, which was higher than the estimate of 64 cents. Revenue was $3.04 billion, which exceeded the Wall Street consensus of $2.87 billion. The press release contains comments from CEO Jensen Huang. Hopper demand remains strong, and the anticipation for Blackwell is incredible. He claims that Nvidia has achieved record revenues as a result of the full-throttle operation of global data centers to modernize the entire computing stack. He continues to assert that Blackwell samples are being dispatched to our customers and partners. Spectrum-X Ethernet for AI and NVIDIA I Enterprise Software are two new product categories that have achieved substantial scale. Another data point to consider is NVIDIA's announcement of a $50 billion share repurchase. We are currently observing the stock in this location increase significantly over time. John, we will provide you with the necessary information in a matter of seconds. All right, we will await the guide. It appears to be slightly above expectations. Nicole, what are your plans for the item if you believe you missed the significant relocation? The earnings beats are becoming increasingly narrow. I believe that is precisely what I was observing as the market attempted to process. Currently, the street is less enthusiastic about the direction we are headed in, as the earnings beats are becoming increasingly narrow. Therefore, I believe that the subsequent phase will be the adoption of the technology by finance, healthcare, and consumers, as we have already begun to hear from Walmart, until there is greater clarity regarding the movement beyond the hyperscalers. Therefore, I believe that the more we learn about Blackwell, the stack's capabilities, the demand for the stack, and these higher margin products, the more we will understand them. This next generation, next wave technology is what propels us forward. Therefore, I would not argue that this is not an entry point, as we are of the opinion that we have been long-term customers of Nvidia for over 18 months. In the same vein, Paul, the fact that your revenue increased by 152% year over year, or more importantly, by 122% year over year, represents another quarter of more than doubling. It tripled in the most recent quarter, so it does indicate a slowdown in the rate of growth. I am curious as to how much this is influencing the stock, given that we are currently down 4%, despite the rapid movements that are visible on your screen. Yes, I believe that we previously discussed the need for them to exceed